Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to share with you the Wetek Play Android TV box, which is right over here. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I see you in a few minutes for the conclusion. So let's start by taking a look at the packaging itself, and what I can say so far is that the team behind this really took the effort to keep everything organized, really clean, simple and sturdy, but you will know what I mean in a few seconds. At the back we will find some more detailed specification, which I will point out: the CPU Amlogic 8726MX dual core and the Mali 400 dual core, also with a 4GB NAND flash storage. And on the sides, a really nice touch, which are these stickers that will ensure that you will be the only person opening the case after it leaves the factory. Now let's go for the unboxing as usual, and let's take this as fast as possible. And there we go, the unboxing is done. And as you can see, when I told you before that they really took attention to details, here we are, everything very organized and well protected. And once we take that soft foam protective cover, we will find our user manual, which is in English, Portuguese and Spanish. At the top, very well secured, as you can see, not just by the soft foam, but also with the plastic envelope, we have the main device. Lifting up that top part of the box, we will find the rest of the components. First we will find the power adapter, which is for European Union, so if you live anywhere else in the world, just don't forget to get an adapter. A serial debug cable, and a remote control, which by the way, it's not infrared, it's wireless, but I'm gonna cover more about the remote in just a few minutes. It also comes with a really nice plastic bag, which in my case, I usually don't carry my devices around, they just stay there near the TV. But if that's your case, then Wetek got you covered. Honestly, what I'm gonna do with mine is, time for the beach is coming soon, and I'm gonna use mine to take my glasses, my phones and some items, so well done Wetek. Finally, we will also find a HDMI cable to connect to our TV, and although I've got plenty of them, this one is really thin, so a nice feature on this HDMI cable. Usually I just put the manuals aside, but this one deserved a little bit of my attention just because it's very well organized and easy to read. You'll also get a really nice membership card, which will give you access to the Wetek services, as for example the Internet TV channels. Usually remote controls that are included with this type of devices are infrared, but in this case, as I mentioned before, this is a wireless remote control. It has a really nice back button which feels like a trigger, which will give you access to the AirPlay capabilities. Regarding quality, feels really sturdy, a nice rubber, so an overall really nice experience on your hand, being small enough just to fit on your hand. And just as a side note, as usual, no batteries included, get your own. The two small lights at the front will indicate if you are connected through wired connection or wireless connection. We will also find a power indication light on the left hand side, but I did try it as usual on my bedroom for a couple of nights and it's really dim, so no worries there. And as you can see on image, the power indication light is not only a light but also a power button, very well located, so it's always great to see a external power button on these devices. Looking at the left side of the device, we will find no ports at all, while on the right side we will have a microSD card and a USB port connection. At the back we will find all the necessary ports to connect this device, and starting from the right we will find the power jack, serial connection, optical output, HDMI, Ethernet, AV output, 2 USB ports, and optionally a RF in and RF out to connect to your cable TV. And if instead you have a cable service, you have a satellite service, there's also an option for that, and as well as an option without any of these features, making the device a little bit cheaper. And looking at the top, just so you can see, it's very slick design with just the Wetek logo on top, and that is it. And to wrap up this part of the video, at the bottom we will find 4 nice rubberized feet to keep your device on place, and also an option of 2 brackets to put it on a wall if that's something that you want to do. Now it's time to turn on the device, and as you can see on screen, you will be welcomed with a wizard Wetek, which will give you the most basic options, so making this device a great device for those that never touched a Android TV box before. So as you can see, very straightforward and very easy to use. One of the things that I have to mention here is about the online updates that on other machines that I've tried don't work, and actually on this one work really well. And during the setup you'll be faced with a button that says check if your device is updated with the last firmware, and if it's not, just press that download button and the device will do everything for you, so no worries at all. And once your device is updated, just put in your serial number that you received on your membership card so you can get the most out of this device, as we can see later on the video. And once that is done, you will have this message: congratulations, you can start using your machine. And now it's time to start using our device. And as you can see when you boot it up, this will be the launcher that Wetek designed. And in my opinion, it's very clean, very good looking. And of course, besides looking good, it has some really nice animations, and all the main features that you will need, it will be on the main screen, taking you anywhere that you want to go if you want to configure something. Besides that, as you can see, at the top you'll find some basic information about date, time and weather, at the middle the main apps that will be used, and at the bottom which you can configure and change the apps that you want to feature there. But of course, if you are not totally happy with the great interface that Wetek designed, you can, as usual in any Android device like this, to install any launcher that you prefer and just customize it the way that you like. And now just to share a little bit more about the remotes included in this device, which is wireless, not infrared, as I mentioned before. And to be honest, this is, as I said previously, one of the best remotes that I've tried so far in the channel. Regarding the range and functionality of this device, besides the AirPlay, as you can see on screen, it has a great range. You can just place it on your pocket, or if you are on the bedroom and you have your remote because you are cold beneath your sheets, just press the buttons and it will work as any other wireless remote would do. This one works great once again, as I said previously. And now let's start our benchmarking test to see how far we can push this device and connect it through Wi-Fi on a range of about 10 meters away from my office. We can see that we get about 18 megabytes download and 19 megabytes upload, which is a great speed for this device. Is one of the best that I've seen so far on the channel regarding Wi-Fi. And now using my power line connection as usual to the living room, what we can see is that through Ethernet we're going to get about 33 megabytes download and about 20 megabytes upload. Just to mention that my ESP maximum upload speed is 20 megabytes, so it's maximum range, which makes this device capable of streaming anything on your network. Now let's go to Geekbench tree and see the results. As you can see, on single core score we got a 312 and multi-core score 508. This is a dual core CPU, so I couldn't expect much more than this, but let's see further on what this means regarding capabilities of the device. Next test is the Epic Citadel benchmark, which will give us an idea how this device will perform in 3D games and the GPU overall performance. Now the test that I made on 180p did not work out. The GPU was not capable of running all the tests in maximum quality in 180p, so I did have to lower to 720p. And as such, as you can see on screen, the final result on 720p is an average of 26.8 frames per second, making this device, at least on benchmarks, not the ideal to play, but we will see how it will perform later on. Regarding the 3D Mark tool, which is a great tool to benchmark the GPUs, as you can see, it's not a surprise honestly, the GPU cannot handle the test, it's very heavy for it. So once again, this is not a device intended for heavy gaming, but we will see once again and just right next in a few seconds what it is capable of doing. Now we finished up the benchmarking tests, and if you are a follower of the channel, you are used to me saying that once we get our devices, we will not be making many benchmarks on a daily basis, we will be enjoying them. And to give you some feedback about the gaming capability of the device, you can see here as usual the Despicable Me game, and as you can see the frame rate is great, you can play it very well, no problems at all, even though the benchmarks were not great. And that part of the video which I just slammed about that bomb, everything works great, no flaws. So if this is one of the games that you want to run on this device, you will be more than happy to be able to play it. The next test as usual was Cars game, just because my kids loves to play this game, and surprisingly it played flawlessly. As you can see, no problems at all, no freezes, no whatsoever. So if this is once again the type of game that you intend to play on this machine, you will be fine. The next game tested was the Beach Buggy game, which is a bit more heavy game, as you can see on screen, and to be honest, once again run flawlessly. This one actually surprised me because I was expecting a bit more delay on here, but no, perfect frames per second and everything run great except my driving capabilities. And lastly, I tried also GT Racing 2, which in this case we are talking about a really heavy game. And what I noticed here, although I didn't measure the frames per second, so I'm not sure how many frames we are getting here, but I'm sure it is a little bit below the 30 frames per second, because I can really notice a bit of delay. So I also wanted to try the Asphalt 8 Airborne as usual. I try on the devices, but I run out of space on the storage, but I will mention that later on the video. Nonetheless, you can definitely play the game, but not as high frames per second on higher end CPUs as we tried before on the channel. And now let's go to my favorite part of these videos as usual, which is what I use these devices mostly for, and also the targeted audience of this device, which is just a better TV experience. And now we have the Kodi on screen, which comes pre-installed on this machine, so you will not have to worry about downloading and installing anything. Out of curiosity, as you know, if you research about the CPU that this machine comes on, it will not be able to stream 4K videos. But on the other hand, 180p videos will just play back fine, as you can see on screen. Not only the playback, and just a note, this is being passed through my network, but even when you fast forward and just browse around the videos, it will have no glitches, no freezes. As you can see, it plays immediately. So for video playback using the Kodi, which is one of my favorite softwares for these Android devices, is just great. 5 stars on this particular issue here. Also, on the topic of the better TV experience, we have two options with this particular device, which is one of them being capable of connecting your cable connection to the device, and the other one activating the service Wetek antenna. And for that, do you remember that membership card that we saw previously? That number is to enable you to watch all these TV channels. Now, regarding these TV channels, they are very well organized, but if you feel that the organization is an issue, you just log into your account on the Wetek services and you can just place them on the order that you wish. Regarding the playback, is just awesome. No pauses, no freezes, and if I did count them right, we have above 130 channels available to browse around and play as it was any other service that you contracted to your home. As you can see, there is a little bit of buffering when you change the channel, but that is it. Once the channel starts, it will work just great. So the overall experience of this capability is just great. Now I'm reminding of something, which was that little bag that Wetek included. Probably it will be useful if you want to take this device to your travelings. If you go to an hotel and you have that basic service and you want some more channels, with this device you will be capable of just connecting to the internet and get the most out of it, having all your favorite channels with you. Just a final note regarding this experience, which is you can browse the channels by genre. To finish up this review, I did mirror it with my wife's iMac, and as you know, we use iPhoto application to stream our photos and to organize all our photos, but to stream to our living room TV when our families are here. And as you can see on screen, hopefully you can, there are some frames dropping, nothing really major that could say, hey, this is a non-buy, but also I could not say that is 100% working. So regarding the sound, is flawless, no drops on sound, it's just on the image you get sometimes, as you can see, those frames dropping. Okay guys, and that wraps up this review. Hope you have enjoyed the video, and now I just want to share with you the things that I did like the most and the things that I did like the less, as usual on my videos. So let's start with the pros, or the things that I like the most, which fortunately there are much more than the things that I like less. So let's start with the delivery time. You have two options once you go to the Wetek website, which I will post the link below on the description. You will have a free option of delivery and then a paid option. So the free option, just to be honest with you, I was really surprised. It took only 1 day to arrive. So I ordered in 1 day and the next day the device arrived. So it was really fast. I even sent them an email to the support team to ask, and they said that it's usual. There is a time frame for each delivery, but just to say that the delivery system of them, it's not by that. regular mail, it's actually by a courier, so you'll get your devices really fast. If you have any doubts about that, don't hesitate to contact the support team of Wetek, sorry. They are really supportive, so don't hesitate on that. So A+ for Wetek on this system. I even wondered if I ordered in the faster model, would I get it on the same day, after half an hour, after an hour? But that would be would be too much. Just order and then the guy just ringing on the bell, here's the delivery. But nonetheless, just a plus there. One of the things that you saw on the video was the remote, and this I have to mention again, was one of the best remotes, if not the best so far that I've reviewed, and I've reviewed a few machines, as you know, on the channel. If you don't know, just check them out. And usually the devices come with the IR remote, and then some of them bring a USB adapter with a air mouse, and in this case integrated with the machine, a great remote. Not just the quality of it, the overall design, which fits. I've got a lady hand anyway, very small, but fits really good on the hand, and I can seem to get tired of this remote. Really nice, and also the range and all the functionalities really great. So all in all, A+ here that I had to mention once again. Regarding the updates, this is one of the first devices that actually work with online updates, and I'm doing this with a pen, sorry about that. Actually works with the updates. Now, many of the devices have that feature that, you know, you press the online update, but then it doesn't get out of that. There's no update, or it shows no updates when there's actually a new firmware. And this for the boxes that actually have support, because many of the boxes on the market right now don't have the support. Unfortunately, this one has a great support. So online updates, easy as hell, no problem at all. Even someone without any knowledge, as you saw, can just press the button and have their device updated. Great plus there. Now, there is another thing that they mention on their website, which is this is not just a box, and that's totally true. They have a great TV experience. Not just the TV experience, but the service itself. As you saw, we receive a membership card which will activate some of the services like the live TV. They have over 130 channels, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully I didn't count them wrong. So if it's not 130, it's 130 something. It's not less. And besides that, all the mechanics of the device makes a really pleasant TV experience. So another plus there. One thing for those that want these devices cracked and want to make changes, this one is actually rooted from factory, so you can do whatever you want with the device. Install apps that otherwise you wouldn't, or otherwise you would have to root yourself, which is something that I mention in all my videos. I'm not a guy that roots the device, so if the device comes rooted, great, I can install more apps than usual. Now, there's also an option with the Microsd Cards, which this one is actually mine. I didn't bought it from Wetek, but just to remind that you can order a SD card with Open Elec with XBMC, and if you don't know what is this, just search around Open Elec XBMC and you will see what I'm talking about. And that's a great option if you don't care about Android device or Android operating system, and you just want a slick user and faster in this, at least theoretically is faster. And for what I've seen, Open Elec is a great platform to run XBMC, so you will have the option to receive one of these at a small amount extra, a small card with the Open Elec, which you can just insert on your Wetek device, and then you will have the option for another operating system with XBMC. So that's a great plus. On the other hand, if you don't want to spend, I don't know how much it costs, about 10 years, something like that, but if you don't want to spend that extra money, Wetek also gives you an option to download the image file to put on the SD card, or the micro SD card in this case, and then you can make it yourself, and bam. There's all the instructions on their website, so if that's a project that you want to spend some time and make it, just feel free to. So another plus here. Now, regarding playback on 180p great, flawless. Don't expect 4K. This machine is not intended to do. They don't advertise it as that. They advertise it as a great experience, and that's what it is. So 180p is great. It's what I do. I'm honest with you. I only have one file of 4K at my home, and it's a sample from Lumix GH4, which I use for my own testings. And that is it. All the other content that I have, movies and our own movies, family movies, it's all on 180p. So I don't see immediately the need, at least in my case. I don't know your case, you will have to think about that, but immediately I don't see the need for the 4K. So all in all, a great experience. Now, support and community. The Wetek team behind this product really has a great support on their side, and that's a great plus on these devices. Now, we have seen some boxes on the channel that don't have support at all, don't have a brand, don't have a team behind them, just support them. It's just a box. And as they say, this is not just a box, there is a team behind working. And as you could see on the images, the interface, the details, there is actually someone out there on the Wetek team very careful about all the design, all the functionality. So a great plus there. Also, the support is very fast. If you have questions like I did, I had a couple of questions, were very fast to reply. And besides that, you have a community that is not very large, but it's growing fast, that will help each other on that. And talking about community, there is another point, which is the custom ROMs. If you are a fan of keeping pushing these devices on the forum of Wetek, you will have a community, and there are at least 4 custom ROMs that I saw there with different stuff. So just browse around, follow the link below, and you will see 4 custom ROMs, at least at the time that I checked that out, which will enable, for example, this has the version of Android 4.2.2, and those custom ROMs were with 4.4. So as you can see, you can update the device, you can do a lot with the help of the community, with the help of the support. So this is one of their major plus, is their team behind supporting this device, and they really believe on this device. Otherwise they would just sell the box probably cheaper, and wouldn't give us this much support and community feedback. Now, video tutorials, I already covered that. If you have any question or any doubt, there is a page on the bottom side of Wetek, or a link, sorry, to a page where they have a lot of video tutorials to show you how this device works, and step by step. So for those that never use the box, this is a really place to start, and a really nice device to start off using a better TV experience. And lastly, user-friendly. This is one of the most user-friendly devices that I've seen so far. Now, on that side, you can say, hey Robert, but this is an Android TV. It's as easier to use as any other Android TV. That's true, but the interface that Wetek designed, all the steps since the beginning when you plug this device, and I can imagine giving this to my granddad, which doesn't know what Android TV box, and I believe that he could set up this box. On the other hand, there are other boxes that I'm sure that you just plug that to the TV, and my granddad would say, what the hell is this? In here you will get all the instructions from the beginning until the end, until the device is all set up for you to use. So there is no excuse not to start. And even if you have a question, just drop a line to support or phone them, whatever you prefer, and that will be it. Now, going to the things that I do like less, I'm gonna start with the CPU and GPU. Now, I know that this device is not intended to be a device targeted for the high-end gamer. So if you are a person expecting for high-end games, this will be not the device for you. You will have to choose something else with Amlogic 812, 802, as we have experienced here on the channel. Sorry about that. That's the message. Not gonna get the video about the message. So as I was saying, if you are a hardcore gamer, you don't want this device. On the other hand, if you want a really good TV experience, then this is the device for you. That's one of the things that I would like to say. And now the message also for Wetek, if they watch this video. Wetek, do not abandon this box as the specifications as they have, but if possible, if you make another model with a superior CPU and GPU, I think you're gonna get a bigger market, not just those enthusiasts that want a great TV experience, which is my case, but also the high-end gamers, which want more powerful CPU and more powerful GPU. If you can have a even more expensive, I would pay more expensive if that was needed, and obviously it will, but to have a higher end, it would. Do not abandon this, because this is the right price for the people that just want TV experience, no games, or that casual game that we saw on the video, the test. It is fine, but if you want to run more and more, you're gonna need a more powerful CPU and GPU, and here's the need for Wetek. Don't abandon this, just make a superior one, and I think you're gonna get more and more market, and I wish you do. I will be one of your customers. Now, regarding storage, this is one of the things that I would like to mention as well. 4 GB is not much in these days, especially if you want to install a few games. But once again, this device not being intended for games, 4 GB is going to be more than enough. Anyway, I have to make this comment here. 8 GB would be the minimum that we would use, at least to install more and more apps, especially about the games which are becoming larger and larger and larger. The other thing is mirror capability was not able, unfortunately, to play back in 180p. I believe that in 720p we can achieve some better results. Now the sound was not very good, so I couldn't use this device to stream the iPhoto application from the Mac there. But anyway, this is not a feature that everybody uses. I know a couple of people that do that locally. I know a few more worldwide, but not many people do this feature, iPhoto streaming to anywhere else. So if this is a feature important to you, you will have to see that. We would achieve this with a higher end CPU and GPU, of course. And that is it, guys, on the things that I did like less. So as you could see, I did like a lot of this device, and there were a few things that I didn't like. But overall, if you ask me, hey Robert, is it worth it to buy for the TV experience? And that's one of the questions that I get on the channel. Hey Robert, I don't want games, I just care about TV, I just care about XBMC. What box should I get? And at the moment, this is one that I can say, hey, this is a great device for the price that you pay, and for the service that you get, and for the quality that you get. This is totally worth it. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video, hope it was helpful to give you a wider range of boxes. And if you didn't know this brand, Wetek, I'm very pleased to introduce them to you, and I'll see you on the next ones. I don't want to delay this video much more. So if you liked it, just thumbs up.